It's the conclusion of our triple header in the FIA Formula 3 Championship, and 30 drivers about to do battle in the soaring temperatures here in Barcelona.
Bahrain earlier on when we were sweltering at 50 degrees track temperature, 31.5 degrees air temperature. It's going to be sweaty for the drivers, but keeping those tyres cool and operating well is going to be critical to a good result in today's qualifying session. Come on circuit and drive a good lap, you're going to be somewhere near the front of the grid. Qualifying always so close in F3, and all of the feeder series leading up to this as well.
Well, we did 3 days of pre-season testing here 3 months ago, so these drivers very familiar to this circuit.
Congested, looks like a motorway on a busy bank holiday commuting district.
Oh, wow!
That's the number 4 there.
That's Stromstead.
Stromstead cutting his way through the field, 2 wheels on the grass, and followed closely by his Trident teammate. It's clear the Tridents want some of that clean air over their front wings so that they can get a nice, easy lap.
Monaco now, across the line we go, and we make our way over. Let's see what we can do time-wise. Quickest from earlier appears 1:29.024 for reference.
Yeah, Kamara is on a fast lap. He came over the start-finish line at the same speed he did on his fastest lap in practice this morning, 234 kilometres an hour over the start-finish line. We run through turn number 5 now, car running out to the edge of the circuit. The 14, critical corner. The car is loose through here. You could see him fighting the rear. Actually, his hand came off the wheel as well. So a scrappy first lap, but still manages to go fastest.
Top of the times, the high-tech TGR, and this is
second. That's the highest we've seen him at any stage this year. So it's good to see the ART somewhere near the front of the field. Tappenden goes to the top of the times by half a tenth. Tappenden first, Wharton third. Raise, and here's another angle. What? That was Wirtz doing it even worse.
Wow.
Wirtz doing worse there. And he actually took a run through the gravel. So exactly the same place, exactly the same incident for the 2 Trident cars, except more costly for Wirtz. And he took a trip through the gravel, which will not be good for his tyres or the underside of his car.
And Hugo, same thing.
Except even worse, as he rolled back to the pits, but that was what caused that early yellow flag. 9.391 is still a good 3/10 away, if not slightly faster, even despite the high track temperatures.
Time deleted for Nicolas Solov. That puts him dead last. Now, we could see more of those coming in. Charlie Wirtz had his time deleted as well. We saw that. Nicolas Lacorte on the board. So they are just dropping down the order right now, and I think Tim Tramnitz is going to go as well. Look, there he goes. So Tim Tramnitz down. Wow, they are dropping like flies, aren't they?
Over so late in the corner, and that was a similar sort of thing that we saw earlier in the lap, just about within track limits, but it's late on in the corner that Trident is snapping rear, so clearly they've got a lot of front bias, a lot of front grip compared to the rear, maybe downforce. This is Wirtz again. Look how all the gravel being thrown up. Big stones here at the Barcelona circuit for the gravel. You can see an example of that just to the right shot there. See everyone out on circuit now. The shininess of those tyres says to me that they are all brand new. These Pirelli tyres are fastest on their first flying lap by quite a margin, which is why they save a lot of those Pirelli tyres to be brand new for qualifying.
You can afford to take some risk when it comes to track limits.
It feels good when you put a first banker lap in, because you know that what you did the first time was better than most, therefore you don't have to find as much time. All drivers are all going for a second build now, just to get the tyres and brakes in the optimum window. So it will be basically the second full flying lap is going to be the one that's fast, maybe even third for some of those drivers.
Yeah, and we can just see Jesse Carrasquedo, that looks like, just trying to come through the order. So in terms of those new drivers, Garfias is currently in 8th. We're on the last lap of the race here. Noel Leon just gets himself by.
This actually is going against the race director's instructions here. If the driver's on the racing line, they, in theory, in this last
first sector.
Currently fast in the middle is Van Hoopen on the 35.7. No, it's 35.6 with Rafa Kamara. 2 purple sectors. He's half a second up, and he's still got 4 corners to 3 events. Can he do it at the 5th? Only this year so far he hasn't taken pole at Monaco, the street circuit. He comes across the line. Where will this put him? Surely at the top of the field. Wow, 3.5 tenths clear.
Just gone P3, Bruno Del Pino into the top 10, and Giusti makes it 3 MP cars in the top 10. What a result that would be for MP Motorsport.
then this would be his biggest pole margin by far, and in such a tight grid is hugely impressive as Nicola Marinangeli takes a little trip to the gravel. That won't be very quick, and I imagine that lap won't be allowed to go on the board either.
We'll stab at it here. We talked about 3 runs in this qualifying session. The drivers coming back in, and we should see one more change and one more run for the drivers before that checkered flag. Single-seaters and sports cars and the endurance level as well. Very, very talented driver, Laurens van Hoopen. This would be a season he'd want to go and fight for the title, and he can start turning things around this weekend. And that would be a best quali for him as well.
Jacob, for me we can wait, then we take the risk and we see. But for me I prefer to be more alone.
Copy. You want to be alone? This is confirmed?
Yes, confirmed.
Solov, a winner last time out in the feature race to take the record number of 5 wins. He'll want to add more feet. 11th place. He needs to be at least on the front 2 rows of the grid, you feel. So this is a big lap coming up for Nikola Solov. Belinsky as well, and Louis Sharp is into the top 12. So it would be a reverse grid front row for Louis Sharp if he can stay 12th place. The time's out. Here come the ARTs. Tuukka Tappinen is next to go P6. Over the line goes Ugo Chukwu, and next along we see Van Hoopen.
The final sector, so he stays in 3rd for now as we see lots of drivers coming over the line. Teofil Nile with a brilliant lap into 4th place.
Teofil Nile up to P4. That's a really good result for him. Let's see if he can improve on that further tomorrow. Belinsky should stay in the top 12, but it's only just, and that's heartbreak for James Wharton, for Noel Leon, and for Mari Boyer. And then back on pole position at this circuit, and doing it for a record-breaking 4th time. Whoa!
This guy is an idiot. He should get a penalty for that record. He just hit me from the side.
There was it was a bit of a side swipe on Benavides there. Gerard Shee taking a trip to the gravel, so that was on his his last flying lap. That is why he is down in 30th position. Front of the field, it's just Kamara dominance. He is now the driver with the most pole positions.
Congratulations, my friend. He's another pole position. Well done. Well done. Impressive.
Good job.
Hey everyone, thank you for watching these F3 qualifying highlights for the 2025 Spanish Grand Prix in Barcelona. Pretty exciting session with Kamara having a bad start, but then boosting to the front by 0.2 of a second, as he has been doing for the last few race weekends in F3, completely owning it. I've been thinking maybe I should do a video on the resurgence of Brazilian youngsters in motorsport. You know, going back to like the 80s and 90s with Senna, like, how has Brazil kind of had a quiet period over the last 10-20 years, and now has re-emerged with both Bortoleto and Kamara in about 5 years? So who knows what's coming down the line? Maybe I should do a little bit of investigation and a video into that. Anyway, Kamara's been smashing it. Solov smashing it 2nd after a rough start with his lap time getting deleted. Apart from that, yeah, pretty solid race weekend. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you like this video, please subscribe. And thanks as always. Peace.